Okay, today I'm going to be washing some of my clothes and I'll be showing you the process of how I get grease, stuck on grease and oil stains from like working on machines and stuff out of my clothes. So here is one article of clothing. You can see the cuffs are covered in grease. This isn't the worst one I have. This one's actually not that bad. Anyway, there's that. There's another one around here somewhere. Let me find it. Okay, I found the other shirt. There it is. You can see the cuffs on there are completely greased up. Anyway, this shirt that I'm currently wearing, I have already run through this process. And it is pretty clean. It'll pass. Anyway, but let's get started and I'll show you how I do this. And y'all can take my advice and try this at home. So these are months worth of grease stains right here. They're just stuck on. Now, typically with my clothes, I'll just spot clean them until I really need to wash them. So with this really needs to be kind of washed. I'm going to hand wash it though, and I'll show you the process I'm going to use to specially treat these stains. I always mix up washing fluid to target specific stains. This one needs to have the grease and oil targeted. So let me show you how I do that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make the washing fluid in here. So we'll start with acetone. So here's our acetone we're going to use. This thins resins and stuff like that. Okay, let's add our acetone. If you're wondering why the floor is in disarray, it is because today is a wash day. So that's why there's wrappers and everything currently, because I'm busy doing this. Okay, we've added our acetone. Now to this, we're going to add some ammonia. This is ammonium hydroxide. See? Okay, we're going to add this. Now keep in mind, if you're doing this at home, this is what makes up crystalline smelling salts, the stuff they wave under people's noses who have passed out. So it's very potent. Okay, now we're going to add some alcohol. Okay, next up, we're going to add some borax. Now we'll add some washing soda. This is sodium carbonate. We can also add baking soda. Now we'll add a little Castile soap. Okay, I'm thinking this will be good. For the really, really stuck on stains, we're going to put some turpentine on there, and then we'll cover it with some calcium carbonate or chalk. And then we'll put some blotting paper over it and iron on that, and it will pull the grease into the chalk. Go ahead and take this to the bathtub now. Now this shirt I'm currently wearing I washed by hand. There was no machine washing involved, and then I just threw it in the dryer after I was done. Okay, let's go get the articles of clothing. One and two. You can see the collar on this one right there. We're going to get that off of there. That's actually the sleeve. Anyway, we'll get it off of there. Okay, here are the clothes I'm going to wash. We're going to add a little baking soda to this as well. That's sodium bicarbonate. Okay, now what we're going to do is immerse the articles of clothing into this and agitate it. This ammonia stinks. Okay, well, I'm going to work on this now. Okay, the articles of clothing have been immersed in that. Now we're going to use the back side of a sponge and scrub this. So I'll also be using some Fells Naphtha soap. However, unfortunately, they do not put benzene in this anymore because it is a strong carcinogen. But it was highly effective when they did. Benzene is basically related to oil and grease, but it's been more distilled. So if you put it on oil and grease, it will thin it out. Anyway, and it thins it out so well that you have to put something behind the article of clothing. Then you can just pour benzene onto the grease stain. However, it is very volatile, so you've got to do this in a very aerated space. But anyway, you can pour it on the grease and leave a towel behind it on the grease stains on these clothes, and it will end up on the towel behind the clothes. And it's like magic, basically. But, I'm still waiting on my benzene to come in the mail. So, until then, I'm just going to be using that. I didn't realize they didn't put benzene in it anymore. I'm going to try to show you these stains going away on here when I start scrubbing. They're very slowly going to go away. They're not going to completely disappear, but the dryer will help with that. See, you can see them coming off onto the bathtub. They're lightening up, see? Now I got to work on this for a little bit. You can see how dirty the water in the tub is, and that's just from one shirt, and I've been working on it. You can see also that the stains are starting to go away. They're getting better. They're not all the way there yet, but they're almost. Okay, it appears that this stain right here is silver nitrate from making tintypes. The only way to effectively remove that is using bichloride of mercury, which I would have to synthesize from something, because you can't just readily get that. Anyway, another nickname for that is corrosive sublimate, I believe. Anyway, so we won't worry about that for right now. But you can see it's looking much cleaner. Okay, I just took the shirts out of the dryer. I don't expect them to be perfect. I don't have my benzene yet, though. Once I get my benzene, they will be perfect. But right now, I expect the cuffs to not be ideal. Let's look at them. So here is the collars of those shirts. Remember how dirty those were. This is one of them. And then here's the other collar right here. You can see how clean that is. And then here is one of the cuffs right here. What's on the other side? That looks decent. And then we're going to look at this one. There's this cuff. Decent looking. Okay. Not perfect in any way. There's this cuff. And here's this cuff right here. They're wearable for sure. So, there's those same shirts.